Hello YouTube, welcome back to Throttle Hobby. In this episode we have this, I believe it's a 2011 Ford Edge, and the customer says that as he's driving and he steps on the brake, the front steering wheel shakes. So that to me says warped rotors, which warped rotors happen because when the pads hit this piece of metal, which is the rotor, it creates a lot of friction, obviously. So heat is pretty much where everything starts to warp, bend out of place. So that's basically the number one thing of how it happens. You could avoid this by getting slotted rotors, which are the ones you see in race cars where they're all drilled out. Those I heard are very good at making sure that the rotors don't get warped, but generally speaking, in a case like this, the customer will just replace them and should be good. So I think it just comes down to manufacturing. But yeah, so we're gonna have to go on the fast road on this one and see if the steering wheel shakes when I step on the brake. But as of right now, if you're sitting here and you just do this with your steering wheel, and you hear that boinging sound, that's how you know you need front struts. So if you have a car that does this, you know you need front struts. So I'm going to take this down our fast road here and see if I get the steering wheel to shake. If the steering wheel shakes, it's the front pads. If the seat where your butt sits shakes, that's the rear pads. But we're going to go with what the customer said. So I'm gonna go take this for a quick ride, get them nice and warm, and see if that happens when I step on the... So I've been driving for probably about 5 minutes now. As you can see, as I step on the brake, you can see the steering wheel. Try to get a little bit better with one of those. But I can feel it in my hands, and I can feel in the steering wheel that it shakes. Moment. And I can feel it in my feet, like... So that is going to be a front rotor replacement because the rotors in the front are warped. If you felt that in the seat of your pants, that'd be the rear ones. And this is obviously to help you, so if you ever have these problems, you know exactly what to do and what to say before you take to the mechanic and they decide to charge you a crap load of money for something they think or think not is the problem with your car. So that right there is a good old-fashioned front rotors are warped. Here comes a red light, so I'll try to get it better. Distinction. And I could also feel it in my feet as it's trying to push back. So front rotors it is. So we're gonna head back now and let my boss know and see what the customer wants to do about it. Probably just change them out. And then whether we do or we do not, or they have the parts or don't, this is either the end of the video or before the fix. So if it's the end, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. If it's not, well, you'll see me in the next couple seconds, I guess. Alright, so we have the new parts. We're going to put them here. We're going to replace this rotor, and we're going to do brake pads too. Just because a lot of people come back if they put their old pads back on. Because with the brakes it's already made the grooves in here, the new ones could squeak. So we're just going to do a front brake job and also replace the rotor. So caliper pushed back in, so I don't think it's the caliper sticking that's making the rotor warped, because that sometimes happens. But that pushed all the way back, so that's good. On the other hand, this guy definitely needed brakes. That is gone. So pads and rotors is what the doctor's ordering. Let's get the bail off and get to the rotor. All these bolts were stuck, especially these two, which hold the caliper onto the rotor. And basically, they're long list because this part is a part that slides, that the caliper is supposed to slide on. There is no grease on these, so I'm gonna re-grease those. Put everything back on here, everything should be smooth. So we'll get that done. Get that last bolt out of here. Alright, so this side's all done. Everything's greased up, lubed up, new pins are in. Bolts are greased, everything's good. So we're gonna go on the other side. I'm not gonna film the other side because it's dark mode over there. So yeah, let's get the other side done like this and we'll go take it for test drive. Alright, so heading home because ran out of time. It's past 5, so tomorrow I'll go take it for test drive, but pretty sure that's all fixed and done. He needed brake pads and we got the rotors to new, so they shouldn't shimmy. Although I'll figure that out tomorrow. But that's pretty much how you do a checkup on your car to show when your rotors are warped. So I'll see you guys next week on another episode of Throttle Hobby. Thanks and peace.